Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got an announcement video for something that I'm really excited about and that I've been planning for months now, and that is I'm announcing that I'm starting a book club on this channel called What the Book Club Read. And yeah, I'm really excited for this. So first of all, I can't take any credit for the name because that was entirely thought up by my lovely husband Gary, who just came out with it one day, and we were talking about how I wanted to start a book club and I wanted it to have an interesting name. But I didn't want it to be specific to any like genre or type of book, to give us lots of freedom. And he was like, well, what about something like What the Book Club Read? And I was like, yes, that's it, that's perfect. So What the Book Club Read will be launching in January next year, so 2 months time. I have set up a Twitter account which I'll link in the description, and we're basically going to read one book a month. And our first project that I would like to do is to reread all of, well, for me, mostly reread, but to read Margaret Atwood's backlist of novels. Now, she has got 17 novels published at the time of filming this, so it's a project that's going to take quite some time. And I mentioned it a while ago that I wanted to read her backlist again. I've read most of it, probably 2/3 of it, but I've not read any Atwood for a while. And I mentioned that I wanted to do that, and I had so many people say that they were interested in joining in, and so I thought, okay, well, I'll turn it into some kind of series on my channel. We'll do one a month. And I thought, well, why don't I just make it into a book club, and then once we finish with Atwood we can go on to something else, or possibly, depending how it goes, but we'll see how we go at the start of next year, I might do 2 books a month, one Atwood and then one other. But I don't want to put too much pressure on anyone or myself, so we're going to concentrate on Atwood to start with. The idea is that we will read one Atwood book a month, and we're going to go in publication order from start to where she's up to at the moment. As you guys will know if you've followed this channel for 5 seconds, I adore Atwood and her writing. I think she's a very important author. I think she's quite undervalued in some ways, and she's not talked about enough, or as much as she should be, in my opinion. To me, she's a bit like Stephen King because she writes across all kinds of genres. She writes historical fiction, she writes dystopian fiction, she writes literary fiction, she writes sci-fi, she writes bits of fantasy, and all kinds of things get mixed into her writing, which is why I adore her. So yeah, that's kind of the announcement. Running a book club called What the Book Club Read. I'm still in love with that name. And we're going to start with Atwood's backlist. We're only going to read her novels because she's been published like, I think, almost 80 times at the time of making this video. She's written all kinds of things, and she's written non-fiction, she's written a graphic novel, she's written children's books, she's very published in terms of like academic papers, and things on feminism. So we're just going to focus on her novels because trying to read her whole backlist would be probably a lifetime's work. Yeah, and we're going to start in January, so 1 book a month. What I will be doing is I will be posting a TBR video at the end of December for the first 4 months of the year, and then at the end of each quarter I will be filming a wrap up and a TBR, so I'll be wrapping up all of our thoughts on the 4 books from that quarter, and I'll also be doing a TBR for the books that are coming up. I would really love this to be really interactive. That's why I've created the Twitter account, so we can chat on there. For me, I'll be reading the Atwood book. It'll be my first read of each month, so that you guys know when I'm reading it. I'll be doing Twitter sprints to help people read the pages. I'll be starting discussions on Twitter. We'll be looking at the topic of the book that month. I want to try and make it as interactive and as interesting as possible, and when I do the wrap-ups I'll be including my thoughts but also your thoughts. If you do read along, if you could let me have your rating out of 5 at the end of each month, so that I can collate them and kind of give my rating out of 5, and then the group's rating out of 5, because I think that could be quite interesting to look at. So yeah, that's kind of it really. As usual, I haven't planned this at all or scripted it. I'm just kind of brain dumping all this information that I've been had in my head for ages. I am so excited for this to launch. I will also say the first 4 books that we will be reading are The Edible Woman, which was her first book from, as usual I've got a bit of paper with my notes on, 1969. We will then be going to Surfacing, which is from 1972, then Lady Oracle from 1976, and then Life Before Man, which is 1979. And I've started to kind of collect the editions, collect the books in these like Art Deco style editions. I really like them, and they've got very nice spines as well, so I'm trying to collect them all up in these editions just because, you know, she's my favourite author, so I'd like to have nice sets of her books. Obviously that's not needed. You can also read it any way you like. You take a whole month to read it, you can read it in the first few days of the month, you can do audiobook, or physical book or Kindle, whatever, however you want to consume it is totally cool. I just would like to have a chilled, relaxed time, enjoy some books, talk about them, and hopefully you guys will want to join in. I mean, leave me a comment below, let me know if you're up for this. Like I said, once we've started this and done a couple of months, I might bring in another book each month that's non-outward, but we'll see how we go. But yeah, for now, that's all I've got to tell you. Like I said, leave me a comment, let me know if you want to join in. I will leave the Twitter link below, so go and follow that if you'd like to, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys, bye!